Good morning. It's wake and bake time. We've got football coming up. We got lineups to set. We've got injuries to go over, bets to make. Hammer's finally back after leaving me for a few days. What's up,
Yeah,
Hammer?
it's been an interesting weekend so far, but I made it my business to be here when it counts the most on a Sunday morning, answering your questions, giving you the insight that only the Polish Hammer can give you.
Well, I would argue Saturday nights is a really big.
Yeah, you're
Saturday
probably
nights are
right.
always like huge. Like we have really big Saturday nights.
I would agree.
And then Tuesdays we got the Dynasty stuff with Huss's channel as well. Foot Legends in the building. What up, Foot Legends? Marching on down. Um, all right, Hammer. What's good with the inactives, actives? I know that list probably just came out or so.
Yeah, we're starting to get some things here. Christian McCaffrey, all signs point to him playing. Craig Reynolds, for what it's worth, Lions running back, is going to play. Zach Charbonnet,
I don't think he matters. Yeah, he's out, right? What the fuck?
DJ Dallas, RB2.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Jones expected to play. That's a 4 p.m. kickoff. Um, Debo Samuel out until after the week 10 bye. So that's critical. If you got Brandon Ayuk and you were thinking about firing him up, fire his ass up. George Kittle becomes a little bit more viable. I think he was going to play, you're playing George Kittle regardless, but I think George Kittle gets a little nice little bump as well. Daniel Jones, long shot to play. So keep those things in mind. Dolchich on the IR, tight end Greg
On IR
Dolchich on the
again?
yeah.
What?
He's gonna miss the next 4 games.
Damn. I thought he just came back.
I don't know. So Dolchich on the IR. So that's pretty much all the news that's come out right now. It is 11:30, so usually we get those inactives, actives 90 minutes before. So as they trickle in and I get the alerts, we'll keep you guys updated.
Got
But
any game time decisions right now?
I'm sure there is, but that's pretty much everything I have on the actives inactives at the moment.
Foot Legend says he needs to sit one. Who we got here? We've got Terry Waddle, Watson, Deontay, and start either Aaron Jones or Pacheco.
Sitting one at a Terry Waddle. I guess that's Christian Watson and Deontay
Mhm.
Johnson. I think I'm sitting Deontay Johnson just as a first game back kind of thing. That offense hasn't looked great to begin with. So if I had to choose, it would be between Terry and Deontay, but Terry's really good and he's the number one option. I think Deontay has the lowest upside of any of these guys today and coming back from a injury.
Yeah, I mean, I like Deontay. I got to play him actually in a couple leagues, but yeah, I mean, with these choices, I mean, Watson's got a good matchup. Waddle has been heating up, and plus he's just Waddle. Terry has been heating up a little bit as well. So, yeah, it's either between Terry or Deontay here, and I'll probably just go with Deontay maybe on the first game back. So let's go Deontay, and then we've got either Aaron Jones or Pacheco.
Oh, I'm starting Pacheco, and it's not
Yeah.
particularly close just because Aaron Jones is coming back off the injury, and he was back 2 weeks ago against the Lions. Didn't play very much, then didn't play again last week. So his situation is very cloudy. I know they're coming off the bye week, but I still don't trust it. I know what Pacheco's doing and what he's been doing for the entire season, basically, outside of that first week. So give me some Pacheco as really good RB production.
Yeah, give me Pacheco as well. I mean, he's been heating up. He's been catching passes out of the backfield now too. So, he's been really good. Aaron Jones, like I said, first game back. We talked about it yesterday too. Apparently, he's saying he's feels great. Like he's felt the best he's felt so far this year. So
I need to see it first.
yeah, no, of course, we're going with Pacheco, no doubt for
And
sure. I mean, better offense in
Aaron
general.
Jones, Aaron Jones is dynamic, like he really is, and I think they're a much better team when he's healthy and playing well. But I there's just way too much uncertainty there. I do
Sure.
think he has a solid game, but Pacheco's been rolling right now.
Fields expected to miss 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, apparently it's not a one-game thing. Well, he's gotta try and grip the football really because it's the thumb, so that's a big part of it. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's gonna happen with DJ Moore the next few weeks. I mean, I would expect a little bit of down production. I mean, and one of the reasons why I wound up trading him in one league just because I wanted to get off the player, and then just because I don't know how this is gonna be the next couple weeks, with Badgent. But,
Yep.
I mean, what do you feel about, I guess, Badgett coming in and then that offense in general with DJ Moore now the next couple weeks? I mean, what are you thinking?
I'm trying to avoid those guys at all costs. Now, for a guy like DJ Moore, you kind of might have to play him, but a guy like Cole Kmet, I'm staying away from. Obviously, Mooney, we're not touching, even in the best of situations. So, really, it's essentially DJ Moore and any running back, really, that you can potentially plug in. These guys are going to move the ball somewhat. They're not going to have 0 points and 0 yards. So something's going to be, they're going to need production from someplace. So I think DJ Moore is still viable, but he's in the wide receiver 3 flex range for me.
Mhm.
Really quick, I just got some news. Deshaun Watson and Kareem Hunt both active.
Okay. I know they were really worried about Kareem Hunt. And then Watson was interesting because they still had PJ Walker up. So, yeah, I mean,
Watson and Hunt both active.
okay. That makes me feel good about Watson at least. One of the trades this week was Lamar, Pacheco, Goddard, Aaron Jones for Golf, Laporta, Brian Robinson, and Downs. I got the Lamar side. So Lamar, Pacheco, Goddard, Aaron Jones, Golf, Laporta, Brian Robinson, and Downs.
I mean, Goff is playing better than Lamar right now, but Lamar definitely has a higher upside on a per game basis. Um, Feels fairly lateral. I know Pacheco's getting the good work right now, but Brian Robinson's been solid. Laporta's been amazing. Goddard's been good as of late. And
Hmm.
then Aaron Jones, like it's lateral-ish to me. There's things you like on both sides, but I think the Lamar thing just gives you that upside on a week to week basis. Like I said, Pacheco's been good. Goddard's been steady, especially the last couple weeks. And then Aaron Jones has been hurt, so you got to see what he's going to give you.
Yeah. I mean, basically, it's like you split almost Brian Robinson into two, almost like you got Aaron Jones and Pacheco. So if you needed the running back help, like I'm fine with it. I mean, Laporte is just tough to come off. I mean, we talked about this yesterday. He's tight end too. I mean, there's no question that you're playing Laporte. You're not playing anybody over him except for maybe Kelsey.
Yep. And
Um,
you had the Goff stack with him, which was really nice.
so yeah, that's the tough part of coming off of that. I mean, I get it if you needed the RB help, if you were down, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of lateral. It's kind of hit or miss. So I don't mind it. If you just wanted to shake shit up and you had to, then yeah, I'm cool with that, man. I'm a D1. I'm a Lions hater. That's why I accept.
For legend, sometimes you got to leave your fandom at the door because in
Mhm.
fantasy football, it's kill or be killed. And I've definitely been guilty of that, like taking a bunch of Packers, even like Jordan Love. I've been on Jordan Love a ton this year, and he's been really good over. If you look at the entire sample size, he's been, I think, better than we expected. But there are situations where you let your fandom burn you, so just be careful about that, especially when you're making trades. Like you don't want to get caught making trades
Sure.
for guys on your team that you might overvalue. Just be careful with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I gotta find a way to fucking fix this layout because it blocks hammer. It blocks hammer today. So I
That's okay.
gotta
Nobody wants to see me anyway, so that's fine. I'll
I
just
gotta
hang out.
figure out how I get to switch that up. I gotta somehow find a way to make that make that fit, but we'll get there. Billy Blanks, what up, brother? Hunt or Foreman?
Bears have
Chicago,
it.
right? Nobody's
Yeah,
there,
yeah. Bears have a decent matchup against the
and they
Raiders.
go against the Raiders.
Kareem Hunt taking on the Colts. Split and work with Jerome Ford. Give me Foreman here, just on volume alone.
Mhm.
And he has a decent matchup. Colts Browns. Yeah, I'll roll with Foreman here.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Foreman here as well. Hunt is, the injury. They didn't know if he was going to play. Apparently, he's active, but how much work does he get? And I mean, Foreman had 15 carries last game. He's not going to give you anything really in the pass game, but he's at least going to run the ball. Playing against the Raiders, it should be a. I don't think the Raiders are going to come out like blowing them out or anything. So it should be a game where Foreman should be involved pretty much the whole game, I would hope. So yeah, give me Foreman with that too. Billy Blank said, "Is that a wood?" Yeah. So this is I smoke out of games. So I use games. I roll up with games.
You gotta
Hammer's
evolve
more
with
of
the
a
time.
what do you use, Hammer?
Papers, raw
Yeah, Hammer's more of a
papers.
vape guy nowadays. He's a bitch now. So
Well, no, even well, I can't smoke in my apartment,
oh,
so
that's true too. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
so
Okay. Okay.
that's what I'm. But I use raw papers. I can't that those Dutches, those leaf thing, they're too harsh on my lungs at this point. I'm getting older. The
In
lung
other words,
capacity can't
he's a
handle it.
bitch.
Well, call it what you want, but it's papers. It's raw papers.
No, I feel you. I feel you. I prefer the games. I've tried papers, but just burns too quick. I don't necessarily love it. I just like to relax and do
Um,
my thing. So
Really quick, got some more actives, inactives.
okay,
Marvin Jones Jr. out, Monty out,
yeah, we know that. Okay,
Roshan out,
yeah,
Jimmy G obviously we knew out, and then just some more questionables. Kyler Murray obviously out, Dolchich we talked about, Justin Watson out, Jalen Guyton out, Kyron obviously out. Deontay we talked about. Deontay we didn't talk about, but he's back. Fryermuth placed on IR.
yeah, yeah. I saw that. Darnell Washington is still a bitch for
Mm-hmm.
everybody that loved Darnell Washington coming out after that crazy catch he made in the combine. But I didn't like him just because the fact that he's not going to be a pass catcher up and down the field. I mean,
Right.
in the red zone, yeah, he's going to get some looks, but he's not going to be a guy. He was going to be more of a blocker because we knew that the Steelers, especially after he got drafted to the Steelers, we knew what they needed. They needed offensive line help. They need help running the football. So they're just going to use him, for blocking mostly. So,
Yep.
um, Isaac, what's up, Isaac? Craig Reynolds, a decent flex, or Reed or Slayton PPR?
I don't really trust Reynolds just because he's so deep buried on that pass catching kind of offensive skill set. I think I'm rolling with Jaden Reed here in a good matchup against Denver. Slayton, I just don't trust that Giants offense as a whole. I know Slayton had a decent game. I'll take Jaden Reed here, but Craig Reynolds is interesting because he plays on a really good offense. But there's just so many guys there with Amon Ra, with Jamo back, with Jameer Gibbs, with Sam Laporta. Like there's just too much going on there. I'll lean Jaden Reed here, but you can make an interesting case for Reynolds.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Jaden Reed too. I like the matchup. Slayton, we're not touching, and Craig Reynolds. I mean, you have to hope he gets in the end zone. He's just not that
Mm-hmm.
good. We've seen him, play when also Monty wasn't there. They're just not going to give him a crazy amount of touches. But I mean, he knows the offense. He's decent in pass protection, so he's going to get some burn. But I don't think it's going to be valuable enough for fantasy. So I'd rather risk it on Reed
Yeah.
breaking out and scoring a touchdown against a bad defense. So yeah, give me Reed, Isaac.
Yep.
Hammer stood us up last night. What up, Kev?
Kev, what's happening, brother? I'm back. Nah, I was actually planning on getting on. My wife had her uncle's here from California because there's some like family stuff going on with her family, and they actually ended up coming over to our place because they haven't been here yet. So they got here at like 8 o'clock, and then they didn't leave till close to midnight. So I was trying to get on, it just didn't work out.
Oh shit!
And
I just made a trade in one of our. I don't even know which
that's
league this
you,
was. I just saw the trade and I just accepted it. I didn't even think it was this league. I thought it was our home league.
Hyatt for Michael Wilson.
Wait, which league is? Oh, it is our home league. Okay, I'm bugging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Michael Wilson for Jalen Hyatt, straight up dynasty.
Take that every day.
Give me Wilson. I didn't like Hyatt to begin with, but that's a
Yeah.
straight. BC. That's not a dynasty move. That's a I like this player better, and I'm a Giants fan move.
Yeah. On the
You
other
know,
side.
you like Wilson or you like Hyatt?
Oh, Wilson for sure, just because the number one, the offense is better. I mean, the Arizona offense actually moves the ball with some regularity.
Mhm.
So yeah, he has a steadier floor. Hyatt is virtually nothing at this point. And you took advantage of the other person's fandom.
All right, Tyreek over under 92.5 receiving yards.
Ooh, against Philadelphia.
They got the DBs are fucked.
I
They've got like
know.
no defensive backfield right now. So
I'm gonna say over just from the standpoint of he can get 92 yards in the first half. So every time Tyreek catches the ball, it's a chunk play. He only needs 2 or 3 of those chunk plays to get to that. Give me the over here.
yeah, I'll go with the over too. I mean, he's most likely gonna hit
Yeah.
that. Got
He's
Watson too. Maybe they both eat. I
Christian
mean,
Watson. That's a
Christian
tough
Watson.
one. That's a tough one, Isaac. And I don't, especially on an offense that's been inconsistent. I think Christian Watson obviously is the better play than Jaden Reed, especially with the full complement there. So you can make the argument that you play Reynolds because you have Watson and they're going to get Aaron Jones back. So I totally understand that line of thinking, and I'd probably lean that way as well. I have to play Jaden Reed in a couple of leagues just because I have bye weeks and some injuries, but if you got Watson, maybe you decide to roll with Reynolds, and I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it, but I still wouldn't. I still don't care. I'll play both of them. I mean, it's not ideal because if they get shut down, you're fucked. But at the same time, I mean, the chances that Reed just gets that one touch that he takes to the
Mm-hmm.
house compared to Craig Reynolds getting that one touch to take to the house, like I'd rather
Agree.
just take the chance on, the chance on Reed and the upside really too. I mean, Craig Reynolds is very, very limited and capped on kind of what he can really produce, I think. So
Yeah, I'd lean Reed still as well, like I said, but I understand the logic, and I wouldn't have a problem if you kind of looked at the full scope of it and be like, well, I got Jaden Reed, blah blah blah. I would definitely understand it.
I've said been trying to get a Mike Wilson share all week. Yeah, this is actually my only share of Michael Wilson. I don't have him really in any other leagues. Michael, what's up, Michael? Flowers or Pittman?
Ooh. Colts playing the Browns, Ravens
It's
playing the Lions.
Pittman had like 13 targets last game from Minshew.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Pittman here. That Browns defense is really good.
That's
The
the tough
Lions
part about it.
the Lions defense is really good too, but it's mainly that front
14
four.
targets actually. Shit.
But I think Minshew can still throw the ball. Like he's a really good backup quarterback. Um, that Lions front is still really good. Do they get after Lamar? But Lamar can escape and find some guys. I'm still gonna go Pittman here.
Yeah, it's close because if you think that Lions game could be some kind of shootout or high scoring, like obviously Flowers has got to be involved. I mean, he's getting a ton of the targets now. 11 targets 2 games ago, 8 targets this game. He's got 2 other games with 10 targets. There's really not anybody else there. They are going to try and get him the football. But he's a different kind of player. They get it to him in a lot of like short yardage almost situations. They try and get him the ball, get that run after catch. Man, the Browns defense is the only thing that's like, kind of holding me back from it here.
He's getting that work. He really is,
But
and he's been
I'm
he's been a
still
lot
I'm
better than
gonna
I
go with
thought.
Pitt. I'm still gonna go with Pittman, but I'm not mad if you want to play Flowers. That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Matt, what's up, Matt? Pacheco or Aaron Jones?
Yeah, we had this one. We're going Pacheco here.
Yeah, we're going Pacheco here for sure. Appreciate you, Matt. South Sea, Watson or Stafford today?
Stafford. Definitely Stafford for me.
Who's Stafford going against?
Rams are playing.
Steelers.
Yep.
Mm.
Deshaun Watson, he's not doing it for me, honestly.
He gets a little bit of the rushing. I mean, he hasn't been that bad. He's got two, I think, top 10 weeks.
I have more confidence in Stafford right now with Puka,
Do you?
with Cooper Cup back. Yep.
I mean, Stafford ain't doing jack though either. Like,
I'm going Stafford.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Watson. I'm gonna go Watson. But I'm not mad if you want to go Stafford. I feel it. I feel it. So you got 1-1 there, South Sea. Trying to trade with these jokers in my home league, and they're flaky as fuck.
It'd be like that.
Of course, especially in home leagues, it's always some bullshit. I find it a lot easier to trade when you don't know all the people like personally, but and I find it a lot easier to trade sometimes because everybody thinks different.
For sure.
Oh yeah, so there's always a psychological aspect of it, and that's the tough part. And I always said from earlier, like it's one of the reasons why I do like to play in a lot of leagues is like I don't get too biased on certain players because I kind of have shares of everybody, and I kind of look at all the sides. Where when I'm only in a few leagues, or when I used to only kind of play in a few leagues, I was kind of a little bit biased towards the guys that I have, right? The guys that I want,
Mm-hmm.
because you're painting yourself that perfect picture for that situation, and that just gets you a little too biased and a little too much on the positive side, and that's most likely going to hurt you more times than not. So
For sure. Wait a minute.
Oduro Laporta. I mean, again, we had this kind of earlier as well. There's nobody you're playing over Laporta except for Travis Kelce, basically.
Now Goddard's been really good his last couple of games, but Laporta's just that much more productive. Yeah, it's Laporta here, but Dallas Goddard's been good. Like I traded
for sure.
I traded Dallas Goddard
If you
because
could
I had
trade Goddard,
Laporta.
I'd do that. I mean, if you've got
Yeah.
both of them, you might as well trade them. And he's got the name to him too. So
Mm-hmm.
you need a running back, you need a wide receiver, maybe you package him up with something,
Yep.
and move
And
him, because don't hold him on your bench. He's giving you just no value. He's not going to do anything on your bench.
agreed. And I was able to get a super flex quarterback because I was able to trade Dallas Goddard at a tight end position that, let's face it, it's very, very shallow. So if you have these two guys, like Steve said, convert one of those into some value, and the one you want to convert is Dallas Goddard there.
Mm-hmm. Lit up TV. What's up, man? I like your little graphic there. Do you think starting Dubs and Dylan is suicide today? Shit. In a bit of a bind this week. Only other options are Sutton, Judy, and Hardman. And Hammer is a diehard Packers fan, so I'll let him answer this. But I will say that I kind of do like the matchup this week. But go ahead.
Yeah, I like the matchup as well. I'm playing Romeo Dubes. He's a good wide receiver 3 play today. AJ Dillon, not so much. I know AJ Dillon, last time we saw him, he got some good work and he ended up getting in the end zone, but I'm not trusting AJ Dillon today. I have him on a couple of teams. I'm not starting him. Um, how many spots do you need? It looks like you only need one spot here. Sutton's very interesting. Judy, I traded Judy because I was just sick of his shit. Judy might get traded himself. So the safest one I feel for this game is going to be Dubes at all these guys, but you can make the argument for Sutton as well. So it's between Sutton and Dubes.
No, I'll play Dubes. I'm okay with that. Let's play Dubes. You're good there. And I don't know if you have a choice between Dylan if he's in your flex, or that's just your running back that you have to play. But
Yeah,
I'd probably
it looks
that's the
it looks
tough
like you
part.
have two. Yeah, it looks like you have two here because you said Dubes and Dylan. I'm not playing Dylan. If that's another flex position, I'm playing Sutton. If it's a running back position, then You got to
Yeah.
kind of roll with it. But if those are two flex positions, play Dubes and play Sutton.
Yeah, I'm with that too. Same thing. If you got to play, then play Sutton over Dillon for sure. Watson's playing the Colts though, could run a touchdown. And yeah, I like Watson. I'm more of a Watson guy than Hammer, as I think. But
It's not that I'm not a Watson guy, because I do think with that defense, with that offense, even without Nick Chubb, I think Watson has the talent and he has the pieces. I just need to see it on a consistent basis. He was picking up steam a little bit, and then he suffered the injury, but I need to see some consistency out of him.
you know what? It's crazy. Like in Dynasty too, a lot of people still have that aspect of like, I need to see it. I need to see it. But when in
Hmm.
Dynasty, it's too late. Like you've got to, be ahead of that.
I agree with
Right.
that.
And take advantage of the situations where they're perceived as not being that good right now. Because once it's one, all it takes is one game. You see it just one time, and then all of a sudden everybody's on it. Right. And by that time, it's too late and it costs way too much. Right.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think the whole sample size of the entire season, I think people are still unsure about Watson, just from a production standpoint. From a talent standpoint, we know he's big time, but he's played 3 games. 2 out of the 3, he's been okay. His last game on week 3, he was pretty good. He had 25 points against a good Tennessee team, but he's been out for a little while. So is he a little rusty? Is he not in sync with his guys? He's basically hasn't played in close to a month. So give me Stafford, who's kind of, a little more in sync, and he's got Puka and he's got Cooper Cup. So
So it
give
was
me
the arm,
Stafford.
right? The arm with Watson. Do you think that? And I'm, playing obviously the positive side of this. Do you think that maybe he rushes a little bit more?
That's tough to say because it's a shoulder injury. And what if he gets hit and lands on that? Somebody lands on his shoulder and then he's fucked.
23 and a half. So I'm just looking at his over under here on underdog, 23 and a half rushing yards.
Um, Let me see. When he was healthy, what was he doing in the Russian department? When he was healthy for the first 3 weeks, he had 45, 22, and 16 yards, respectively. So he had one game where he went over that. I'm going to say under because of the injury, and maybe he tries to stay in the pocket, sling it around to Amari, to Elijah Moore, a little Ford action, little Kareem Hunt action, a little Joku action. I'm going to say under that. I'm not crazy about that number there.
Mm. All right. So yeah, we'll go game by game. We'll talk about it real quick, and we'll talk about all the teams. We'll talk about the whatever bets you think are good, Hammer, and then we'll talk about all these kind of prop bet guys as well. See if there's anything we
Mm-hmm.
like. Isaac said, "My friend's still mad. I traded him Bishop
Mm-hmm.
saying, oh man, trade inbox my Jahan Dotson in a late second. Okay, for their Debo and Elijah Mitchell. Productive struggle team will make the playoffs. Just think I can flip Debo.
See, the problem is right now, Debo's hurt. He's not going to be around. He's not coming back till at least week 10.
Mhm.
I'm okay with that, honestly. I think Debo still is going to be more productive than Dotson just because of the offense he plays on. And Elijah Mitchell, I don't know, man. He's just not getting enough. Now I know the CMC injury, maybe people thought, but fucking Jordan Mason was getting work, right? So the Elijah Mitchell thing doesn't mean a whole lot to me at this point, but I can understand why you would want to make this trade. You're getting the best
Yeah,
player in the
I
deal.
mean, there's I guess the two ways, right? Because every league is different, right? And I always say, your league more than I do, right? So Jahan Dotson, a late second, you're in a productive struggle. I mean, I like Dotson as a talent. The situation sucks right now, so I think his value is way down. So I don't know if I necessarily like trading him at the value point of what he is right now. And you're trading away a late second as well, and you're going to get Debo and Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell doesn't matter much, whatever. And then you've got Debo, who I don't like at all, who I've been trying to tell everybody to stay away from. But at the same time, now it looks like you said your team should make the playoffs, and you think you can flip Debo. So, if you what can you flip Debo for would be the real question. Is what are you aiming for? What's the plan after getting Debo? Who are you trading Debo for? I think we got to kind of think the whole plan and process through here because can you use that late second and go buy a fucking Adam Thielen instead and just roll with that? Like, you know what I mean? Can you just spend on an older guy that second instead? To help you kind of because you're in a productive struggle, can an older guy kind of help you a little bit? So, I'd like to keep Dotson if I could,
I think
just
I
because I
think
want
the
to wait for
Adam
that value goes up. But yeah,
the
what do you
Adam
think?
the the Adam Thielen stock has definitely been going up, and I kind of agree with some of that. I think Debo can still get some value. Even a guy like Mike Evans, I wouldn't
Yeah.
mind as well if you want to throw in that. And I think Mike Evans might be a little easier to get just because Thielen's been so damn productive the
Yeah,
last
yeah, yeah. And,
basically
and
month.
depends on who has those players, right? Find the
Right.
teams at the bottom that don't need that don't need those older players. That's how you got to kind of attack it from there. So, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying guys like that. Like a Mike Evans, I wouldn't mind because Baker's playing fairly well. That team is competitive. So I do like the Thielen, Mike Evans kind of boat because Debo's very hit or miss, man. Especially, we know that Thielen is the guy there. We know that Mike Evans, along with Godwin, are the guys there. So try and target Thielen or Mike Evans if you could.
Yeah, I'd probably look to go that route as well. But let me know, Kevin, what do you think you can flip Debo for? So that I mean, if you can flip Debo for something better, I mean, I'm okay with doing it as long as you know what your plan is and what you're going to flip him for. So, what are we flipping Debo for? Bogey, what up, Bogey? What's goody? Worry about the play calling, changing them, spreading the ball around more. I don't know which one you were referring to there. Was that the Niners? Your Niners it was good, Bog. I wish y'all would not do the show so early and stay on so late because I like when we do the combined thing, but I can't. It's just I can't be on for that long. That's the only shitty part about it.
Yeah,
But
this is a nice little window, that 11:30 to 1
yeah,
ish window. I like that window.
yeah. All right, so let's check it out. We've got some bonuses here. We've got Lamar Jackson only 1 yard. I mean, one total yard, so we can use that bad boy. Mark Andrews 52.5 yards. I don't know.
That's a tough one.
I don't love it. But all right, Detroit, Baltimore. What do you think about the game, and what do you think about whatever what's the money line, or like what are you looking at for this particular game, if anything?
So Detroit and Baltimore, the line is 3 points. Lions getting three. Keep in mind on the East Coast here, we have a lot of wind. It's very, very windy here on the East Coast this morning. So that's another thing. I was going to bring up the weather factor. It's going to start to become an issue. The wind is a factor today here on the East Coast. So at Baltimore, definitely windy. I would kind of lean on taking. That's tough. I do like the Lions plus the 3. I just think they're a really good team. Now they do like to pass the ball a lot. So does that get a little negated? The over under is 43.5. I think I like the under there. I think it's like a 20-17 type of game. So I like the Lions plus the 3, or if you don't feel comfortable with that, I like the under 43.5 total points.
Right. So let's see if we like anything really. 2 passing TDs for Golf. Jameer Gibbs, right? He should be getting the lion's share of work today, hopefully.
Pun intended.
55.5 rushing yards, 3 catches,
I like
19
the
and a half
receiving.
receiving. You think you
I
like the
like
receiving there?
I definitely like the receiving work just because
Hmm.
we've seen what he could do out of the pass game, and that could be 1 or 2 receptions, and he can knock that out. I always said And when I talk to Bagalan, we're putting our kind of single game parlays together. We like running back receiving yards, especially if they're, if they're trailing in the game, say late in the second half. Those dump offs to those running backs when the defense is playing fairly soft could become very valuable. So I like the 19.5 receiving here.
Yeah, I think I like that too. Or even maybe the fantasy points, 12.3 fantasy points. But yeah, the receiving he can get in just one catch
Mm-hmm.
almost. So yeah, I like that. I like that. Uh, Kev said good banter on that one. Yeah, I think I could come back later and sell Debo for a Pittman. Okay, or a player
Mm-hmm.
like that. Looking at okay, so yeah, if you can get a Pittman, then I'm for it. Yeah, that because that's a calculated move that you're just taking advantage of. The value, in your particular league. So yeah, if you can get a Pittman, then yeah, I'm down for that. What do you think, Hammer?
Oh, for sure. I'd rather have Pittman than cashing in that Debo chip and getting a Michael Pittman. 1000%.
This team, he's got St. Brown, Addison, Godwin, Traylon, Dotson, and Hyatt.
Yeah, a guy like Pittman would definitely slide in nicely in that lineup. It pushes Addison down to your wide receiver 3. Pittman slides in as the 2, and I
And you
think
got
you're in pretty
Godwin
good shape.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Godwin will be a free agent in 25. So we'll see if he winds up staying there or maybe he goes elsewhere for the later part of his career. And by that time, you could be, contending. So that would be nice. I have a Godwin share myself. Traylon, I mean, you just have to hold him for right now. He's not worth much, but the minute that D Hop leaves, the minute that they don't sign anybody or draft anybody through free agency, that's when Burke's stock is going to go skyrocket again, right? What do you think about Traylon and the stock there?
That's such a tough situation just because the quarterback play is not good, like at all. I think it has less to do with who else is in that wide receiver room than it does. I think it's more about number one, the offense they run there, and number two, the quarterback play. So I don't care. Like if you're in a solid offense, you can support multiple fantasy wide receivers, right? We've seen that like Puka and Cooper Cup, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Like we see it pretty much in a ton of situations. So the having another guy there doesn't bother me nearly as much as the offense and the quarterback play.
Feel you. Feel you. Debo will be a good flex for now, and I
Yeah.
feel like holds value longer. Yeah, that's just playing your league stock market. So
Yeah,
if
he's
that's what
deep.
if that's what you can get, then I like it.
And
But you got to get that though, because if not, fuck. If you get stuck with Debo, that might hurt.
yeah, but I think Debo's such a named guy that he's gonna hold value.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Brian, what's up, Brian? Nervous about starting Adams again. Feels like I'll be burned for the third week in a row.
Well,
You gotta.
the quarterback situation is not great, but I think Brian Hoyer is decent enough. And I said this on, I forgot what show I was on. I think maybe Tuesday show, that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And Devontae Adams has been the subject of a ton of news in terms of basically stating he's not happy with, the targets he's been receiving lately. But play Devontae Adams. You can't not play Devontae Adams. I'm not playing Christian Watson over Devontae Adams. I don't feel comfortable playing Devonta Smith over Devontae Adams. I understand it, but do you want to be that guy that goes out there and plays Christian Watson and Devontae Adams has 10 catches for 125 and a touchdown?
Yeah. Because that could happen. I mean, remember last year? It might have been one of like the last games, I think, and they had in who was the quarterback, and like Devonte Adams had like 3 tutties. It was one of like the last
Mm,
games last year.
oh, when Derek Carr wasn't there. I know exactly who you're talking about, too. Fuck. I know exactly who you're talking about. It was a guy we didn't expect to do a whole lot, and he came out there and just went pretty crazy and looked really
Had
good.
yeah, it was against San Fran, I think it was. He had 7 for 153 and 2 touchdowns.
I remember
Nobody
that
thought that
very.
was going to happen.
I remember that very vaguely. And
Or
listen,
was it the other? Yeah, I think that was it. Was that one of the last games? Yeah, that was one of the last games, I think, right? Because
let
he
me
had
bring it
another
up
8
really
for
quick.
177, but that was earlier in the season. That was week 13. So
And even with the shitty couple of weeks, Devontae Adams is still wide receiver 10. Like he's just that dude. Yeah, that was the game against San Francisco in week 17 where he had 7 for 11, 153 and 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you. You got to play Devontae. Burks as a whole, yeah, Titans QB play is gross. I almost want the young QBs to play to see what you have. Yeah, I mean, once we'll see what happens if they keep losing. Then I mean, I know they're trying to get rid of Henry. Nobody wants him right now, but they could just be downplaying that for now until the Titans are in a situation where they really have no choice and they really are not going to make anything, and they might have to give him up for a lot cheaper than they want to. So
Malik Willis is not the answer. He's not.
no, no, we know that. I don't know if Will Levis is either, but
I was gonna say, does Will Levis get some burn?
I don't know. Do you like the Laporta 42 and a half receiving yards, or how about the what 7, 8 fantasy points?
I think I like the fantasy points here.
Yeah, I
The
like that.
the 4 receptions, I'm a little bullish on. I think the fantasy points will be solid. He's been amazing.
I like that. Let's see. Flowers 58 receiving yards, 7 targets. I mean,
What's the Lamar rushing here? 52.
yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards that. Like I said, it's a windy day out here in
Okay.
the east. I think I like Lamar on the rushing.
You dig that. You got Watson. I think we talked about the 24 rushing.
No, I'm
That'll
staying
be
away from
close.
Deshaun Watson
I know
today.
you.
I'm
I know you
I'm
are,
not
but
feeling that.
I might be feeling that. Jerome Ford, 53 and a half rushing, 15 rushing attempts, 10
He's
fantasy
just
points, or
not
11
efficient
fantasy
enough.
points is going to need.
Not efficient enough.
Yeah, can we trust Amari?
I think I like some Amari Cooper here today.
Okay, 6 catches, 65 receiving yards, or basically 11 fantasy points, or a tutty.
If it was 4.5, I would go for the 4.5 to make it 5 receptions. I think he gets 5 receptions today. Um, six is going to be tough.
Okay. JT, 50 rushing yards,
I think I like that.
11 fantasy points. Zach Moss. I kind of want to hold on to Zach Moss because I feel like if the Colts are losing and they're not like make the playoffs, like do you think they're still going to give JT 20 totes? Like once he's ready to, take on that workload, do you think they're still going to give him a workload towards the end of the season if they're not
Well,
making the playoffs and they just paid him all that money
well, they are 3-3. So at this,
for
even
now?
I understand for now, but I think for their situation, I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be very, very involved for much of the rest of this season. He did get the contract, so we don't have to worry about that. So I do think he wants to play. So yeah, I do think Jonathan Taylor is going to start to ramp up. And listen,
Do too.
the only way they're going to be productive and stay in these games is if Jonathan Taylor is what we saw 2 years ago, and he's just that dude. So
Yeah, that's
give
true.
me, yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor. I like his rushing yardage for today.
We take a Pittman, 6 catches or 53 receiving yards.
Mm, I don't know. I think I'm staying away from Colts passing.
Yeah,
The rushing, I don't mind because I think they're going to try and control the clock. I know the Browns have a good defense, but 50 yards is not impossible, and he could bust a big one for 25,
yeah, that's
30
true.
yards and get you a good chunk there. So 50 yards
What's
is not impossible.
what's what's the money line? What's the other bets look like for this game?
So the line here is Colts plus 3.5. that's a tough one. This game is really hard for me to put my finger on. The Colts have been more respectable than I've thought. They're playing in the dome in Indianapolis. Colts plus 3.5. That's such a tough one at home. I think I like the Browns here on the money line, coming in at minus 185. I don't think it's hard for me to put a finger on the spread at 3.5. So just give me the Browns money line here. I think that defense generates a couple of turnovers on Gardner Minshew, and I think they do just enough to win the game outright. So give me the Browns money line here. Over under is 39.5, so that's interesting.
Oh, I could fit it this way.
Boom, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, but we have to have a picture. I have to have something up on the screen in order to do it. I can't just. Yeah. Well, I don't got time to fix it and make the lineup one, so we're gonna leave it on this for now. All right, Buffalo, New England. What's the money line there? What's that looking like as I try and make this?
So Buffalo is giving 7.5 to the Patriots, and I think I like that. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be a really windy day, all up and down, especially in this northeast area. They're playing at Foxborough in the 1 o'clock slate. Buffalo minus 7.5. I don't think the wind affects Josh Allen nearly as much as it affects Mac Noodle Arm Jones. So give me Buffalo here, and I'll give the 7.5 points. I think Buffalo's going to win by 10 or more. Over unders 41.5. There's just not enough value on the money line at Buffalo minus 400. There's just not enough value there. I'll take Buffalo minus 7.5 here.
Okay. What are some of the bets that we're looking at as far as players? Hold on, let me see if I can.
I think I like Josh Allen.
We like any Josh Allen?
Yeah, I think I like Josh Allen for 20.5 rushing yards. I think that's really solid. Like I said, in a windy game, I think they're going to try and run it a little bit. Josh Allen has a strong enough arm to fight through that wind. But I do think he'll run it a little bit. So I like Josh Allen over the rushing yards and possibly a rushing touchdown.
Like it. Do we like any James Cook? Let's take a look at Diggs's real quick.
7 for 88 catches. That's a lot. 88 yards. That's a lot as well. Those are some high numbers. 10 targets for Diggs. That's tough. Gabe Davis is interesting. I think he is a stretch the field kind of guy. So 3 receptions. That's tough. He's very boomer bust. I think I'm staying away from Gabe Davis. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like I said, with the weather being a little bit of a factor wind wise. But if you like any receiving, it's got to be all Diggs all the time.
Hey. All right. Gabe Davis, Diggs, Kincaid. How do you feel about Kincaid real quick? Just kind of rolling through this. Just in general, I mean, Dynasty, fantasy.
When we had the Go Bills podcast on, we talked a ton about Dalton Kincaid, and rookie tight ends tend to not go crazy, with the exception of Sam Laporta. Michael Mayer's actually coming on strong, but I'm still not ready to go all in on Dalton Kincaid just yet. He shouldn't be in your starting lineups. I'm just not. I'm not ready to pull that trigger yet on Dalton Kincaid. He's seeing some decent work, but not enough to make me feel good about putting him in my lineups. Currently tight end 31 in full PPR. No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the long run, I
Agreed.
like him. Obviously, Knox is not gonna be there forever, but he could be a big part of the passing offense. I think we just have to be patient about it. I think we all kind of wanted him to be that guy right away because there's really nobody else there, right, except for Diggs. So we're just a lot of people are just thinking, okay, he's gonna come right in and be a guy right away and get a ton of targets. And obviously Knox is still there and he knows the offense and he
And
can lead
Gabe
the
Davis has
block
been
and do
catching a
other
ton of
things.
touchdowns.
Gabe Davis is catching some tutties too. So, it's just we got to be patient with Kincaid so he can, learn the offense. The NFL, obviously, it's a lot different. Guys are quicker. Things are different
Mm-hmm.
now, that he's in the NFL. So it's a lot to learn. And typically at the tight end position, we see it takes time to produce always. Nobody has really produced kind of right away, except for, we saw what Kyle Pitts did, obviously, his rookie season. What Laporta's doing right now, I mean, that's not normal. That doesn't
Mm-hmm.
happen. That's the outlier situation. So, I think we just have to be a little bit more patient
Yeah, I
with
totally agree.
DJ. Giants are not expected to trade Saquon. I swear the GMs be left holding the
Mm-hmm.
bag, then get value and waste opportunity to improve for next year.
So just to touch on that really quick, there isn't much value to trading Saquon because you're most likely not going to get anything more than a third round pick for him. And the Giants can franchise tag him next year at roughly $11 million. And with 7 playoff spots, you can easily go from a 3 or 4 win team to an 8 or 9 win team in one season. And I think they want Saquon Barkley to at least be a part of that for next season. So while I think there would be some merit to why they want to trade him, I just don't think there's enough value. You're not getting a first round pick for a quarterback, running back, and you're going to have to pay him on top of it, whatever team trades for him. I just don't think there's much value. And also, I don't think you can trade a guy on a franchise tag. I know there was some, I was watching a show, I think it was like Get Up in the Morning, and they had one of the old GMs, Mike Tannenbaum, basically stating that you can't trade a guy on the franchise tag, something along
Really?
those
Is that a
lines.
thing?
You can trade him, but you can't sign him to a long-term extension after you trade him. He has to become a free agent and then you sign him. Something along
Yeah.
those
Okay.
lines.
Okay. So that team basically can't. They don't have to. The team doesn't have to guarantee him a contract. Basically,
No, they can't. They
well,
have
they
to wait
can't
till he
guarantee
becomes
him
a
a
free agent.
contract. They're
Yep.
gonna have to wait. So okay. So then you're at risk of spending that pick, and then maybe he doesn't
Losing him.
re-sign with you.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess yeah, man.
So that's a really
Yeah,
tough position all the way around.
unless they think they can compete all of a sudden, next year. I mean, now it's tough because it's like, all right, what the fuck is Daniel Jones? I mean, they still got
Mm-hmm.
nobody, no weapons, so they're gonna have to get maybe they're bad this year. They get a good wide receiver next year in the draft. I mean, I don't know.
And then what do they do with that pick? Right? Are they taking a quarterback? Are they a 3-win team that takes Caleb
And
or
that's yeah, maybe they
May?
just take the QB. Maybe they take the
Right.
QB.
A lot of uncertainty with the Giants.
Jacoby or Deontay PPR.
If Jimmy Garoppolo was playing, this would be a very easy pick. It would be Jacoby Myers. It's a little bit closer. I think I'll still go with Jacoby, but you can make the argument for either or. I think they finish very similar in this particular week. I think they're both wide receiver 2 plays, considering both situations that they're in. But just give me Jacoby here.
I'll go with Deontay, but yeah, that's a fair argument for Jacoby. That's a tough one. I'm just gonna go with Deontay because I think that even though he hasn't played, I still think he's gonna get a lot of targets. And with Jacoby, it's just a little bit more uncertain, but he does have a good matchup against a pretty shit defense. So I could definitely see going with Jacoby. But give me Deontay, especially like with Devontae kind of all get him the ball more and
Howdy.
force feed him. I
Yeah.
don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
give me Deontay.
Yeah. I get the Hoyer
Worried
thing,
about
Jacob.
Hoyer.
Yeah, I get the Hoyer
Yeah, go ahead.
thing, but Brian Hoyer is not a terrible quarterback. Like he's not I think even there were some games that I've seen him play and he can toss it around a little bit. Jimmy Garoppolo's not exactly, Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think it's that as much of a downgrade as we think. But I understand the argument on both sides. I'll go with Jacoby here, but if you roll with Deontay, and listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers haven't exactly looked like world beaters offensively. And I know Pickens has kind of come up big a little bit in the last couple of weeks. So it is a tough one. What are Raiders playing? Bears. Good matchup. Can't hear you.
I said, my bad. Diaz said these failing contenders in the subscriber league would rather let the talent die on your bench. And I said, I'm not sure who that's aimed at because my bench doesn't have much talent on it.
I've been getting so many inquiries about Tyreek Hill. So many.
Yeah, what's good?
Nothing's good. I just bought Bijan. I'm going to see if I can make a run in these next couple of weeks and then assess my team. Our trading deadline is not.
Stole Bijan, man. I wanted Bijan.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, so our trading deadline is not till week 14. So there's plenty of time for me to kind of decide what direction I want to take this team. And it'll give me a better idea on like draft capital and stuff like that. So I'm not gonna pull the trigger only halfway through.
Packers D or 49ers D? Did we ask this one? My bad, Foot Legends.
No, we didn't get to that.
All right. Packers D or 49ers D? What we got?
Yes, the 49ers defense here. The Packers defense isn't anything to write home about. And against teams that we should handle, we've struggled, namely the Atlanta Falcons, namely the Vegas Raiders. So I'm not crazy about the Packers defense today. They can get had on the ground. Javonte, McLaughlin. Give me San Francisco.
Yeah. Let me take San Fran too. They shouldn't have signed Jones or Saquon. Yeah, they really shouldn't have. Or they could have signed Saquon and then try to find a damn QB because could have been in the sweepstakes. Now they're going to be the same shit team next year. Yeah, they've been fucking up for a long time now. Sam Laporta or go dirt home to Miami. We keep getting these Laporta and go dirt questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Laporta here. It's Laporta. It's just Sam Laporta, and it's that simple. He's been better. He's been more consistent. I know Dallas Goedert's had a couple of solid weeks, so people are kind of up on him. But that Philly pass offense is it's limited in terms of the volume, and we bring this up a lot. So give me Sammy Laporta.
Yeah, give me Laporta too. You're gonna play Laporta every week. You're not gonna play anybody over him unless you had Travis Kelce. So just play
once
Laporta
again,
and
see what you can get for Goddard. Like he's valuable. See what you can get.
Yeah, add him to something and go get a wide receiver or running back or something else that you need. Don't hold him on your bench. It's useless. So, Gabriel, what's up, Gabriel? Damn, my boy skydiving.
I like that.
In a PPR league, who do I put in my flex? Addison, Evans, or Myers?
So in this situation, the Jacoby Myers, I think, is third on this list. On this particular list. Man, I do like Addison. I think I'm leaning Mike Evans. Addison against San Francisco. Evans against Atlanta. Give me Mike Evans here against Atlanta. Could make the argument for Addison, though.
I'm going to go with Addison just because the volume that I think he has to almost get.
Yeah, I get it. And I think Addison's very close here.
Myers, like you said, Myers is out of it. He's not really in the combo. And then Mike Evans going against Atlanta, like I don't love it. That defense has been pretty good, pretty decent. So give me Addison. Let's go Addison, Gabriel. DS, and what's funny is Bagala wanted his first and all kinds of other players for Bijan. Then he turns around and sells him for Jimmy G in a bag of stale bagels. Bro, I was like, what the fuck, man? He gave him up for too cheap. And then I think he got Pollard. I'm like, what the fuck is he getting Pollard for? And I'm like, shit. But I thought maybe he's got some master plan. I don't fucking know. I
It
don't
was
know.
it was definitely a
Bagala's
negotiation.
Bagala.
Like I strong armed him a little bit, and we were, like I said, we were negotiating for about an hour, and he was asking for some things.
For the record, me and Bagala disagree on a lot of shit. I love Bagala, but I love that we disagree on so much shit.
Just makes for a very entertaining confrontation.
Yeah, things get heated fucking quickly. I miss Bagala. This fucker's got to get back on.
I tried to get him on today.
Ryan said, which defense should I put in, Rams or Green Bay?
Give me the Rams here against the Steelers offense. That's not great. The Packers should be better with all that talent they have on defense, especially draft capital wise. But I feel like they underproduce versus what they should be doing. Give me the Rams defense here.
Yeah, I'll take the Rams defense too. Yeah, said other question for Snuggles, since I think Steve and I are biased. Would you start Watson? Yes. Over Whack Jones, Hoyer the Destroyer, Bilbo Batchin, Tyrod Longfellow, and Uncle Rico.
Yeah, I would definitely take Watson just because Mac Jones, no. Brian Hoyer, interesting, but still no. Badgett, not even close. Tyrod, while he looked good, I think people are just making it seem like he played a lot better because the game was close. They didn't get in the end zone, right?
That's what he does. He
Um,
keeps the game close. I
right.
love Tyrod.
Yeah. Uncle Rico's very interesting in the dome. I know they're going up against the Browns, but yeah, I'm still starting Deshaun Watson if these are your options.
Yeah, so we're not that biased. We're right about this one, Diaz. We
No,
going with
I'm
any
definitely not biased.
we going any Bijan, 55 rushing yards, 25 and a half receiving, maybe 14 rush attempts, 12.6 fantasy points maybe.
I
I
think I
like
like the
that.
fantasy points because he does a little
Yeah.
bit of everything. It's hard to kind of hone in on one thing or another. So 12 and change on fantasy points, that's solid.
Yeah, I like that. How about Drizzy Drake London? What do
Ooh,
we got?
he's
5
been he's,
catches?
he's been pretty good lately. See, the problem is with Drake London is just I know he's coming off a monster game and he's played very well as of late. Um, it's tough. That passing game is so sporadic, man. His last 2 games, he's been really good. Um, I think I like the 4 receptions. I feel like he can get that.
I like the yardage. I
46
like
and
the
a half.
receptions too, but yeah, I think I
So
like the yardage.
he's got three out of his 6 games. He's went higher than that. 3 out of 6 he's went under. But his last 2 games he's been really good, and I think they're kind of starting to utilize him a little bit more now. So I'm comfortable with the receptions and the yardage if that's the route you want to go.
Kyle Pitts, 30 receiving yards. Jonu's the same.
I'm not trusting any of that.
Yeah, let's Baker. 2 tutties, 11 rushing yards, 222 passing, fumble
Half an
loss.
interception. I like the half an interception.
Where's that? I don't see the half. Oh yeah, half interception. Okay, yeah, like that one.
Baker's been okay. Like Baker's actually been better than I thought, but he's still Baker.
Shard White, 9 fantasy points.
Baker with an interception in 3 straight games, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Fuck it. I don't know if I trust any of the wide receiver ones. What's the line on this Tampa Atlanta? What's your take on that?
So the line currently on Tampa Atlanta is Buccaneers giving 3 to the Falcons. This is a game I'm actually staying away from just because I can see both teams winning. The quarterback play has been very inconsistent. Um, I just think it's really a 50-50 game to me. I'm actually not playing this game. Um, I don't really like either. The over under is 37 and a half. Um, so yeah, I'm staying away from this game. I don't like it at all. Both quarterbacks are very turnover prone. Falcons 3-3, Bucks 3-2. I'm not touching this game. I don't want it.
Yeah. With A Chain coming back, should I sell high on Mostert if he has a good game today? I have Eckler and Brees, or should I hold on to him? Thanks for the answers. Appreciate you, Gabriel. What do you think here?
I think I'm holding this. Think I'm holding just because that gives me the insurance of having the handcuff. Mostert's an older running back. Also, Jeff Wilson is coming back. Jeff Wilson actually is back and active for today's game. I don't know if you touched on the Jeff Wilson stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, so Jeff Wilson's back. So you could make the argument that you could trade high on Mostert because you have Eckler and Brees. So see what you could get from Mostert. I wouldn't be mad. Just shop him around, see what you could get. Do you need help at wide receiver? Do you need help at quarterback? Are you trying to get, better at tight end? Like what's your direction if you were trying to sell Mostert?
yeah, I'm okay with selling them if you have Eckler and Brees. You just got to make sure you get a good enough return, right? So yeah, like you said, I mean, depending on what you need, do you need a wide receiver? Do you need to, maybe go after a tight end, a quarterback? I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. So depending on what you need, yeah, I'm okay with it if you have those. If you have those running backs, but
Yep, I agree.
otherwise I just hold on to them. Problem with the Bagala is he's trying to fight to make his first not early. But when trading with him, he refuses to give up the same credit owed for that first. He sold what I would have taken. But yeah, I felt the same way. I was like, because when he traded with Hammer, I was like, fuck. It's like he should have just fucking got his first because it would have been a lot easier for him to, make that a better
I
pick
think
instead of trying to fight it. But
I think I,
everybody's different. So
I think his rationale and in having, the negotiation with him, I think his rationale was he was giving up so much. I think he was giving up Bijan and Hawkinson and a bunch of other parts. He kind of wanted to split it up to maximize the value on each part. So if he could get a first for Bijan, a first for Hawkinson, something like that. So I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong or indifferent.
yeah.
Based on the conversations I had with him, he was trying to split it up so he could maximize the value on each guy as opposed to just packaging them together for his first. So I think that was, and then just acquiring the assets to try and move up as much as he can.
Feel it, I guess. Everybody, I guess, could kind of break it down or
Mm-hmm.
rebuild it, I guess, in their own kind of way. I mean, for me, I would have just took the first and then try to make that a top three, and boom, I've got myself at least a QB, or at least a Marvin Harrison. I mean, there could be, if a few, maybe 4 or 5 QBs that could go in the first round. So, I mean, that would be ideal if you can, get one of the top guys if that's a top 3 pick. And then at that point, just
Yeah.
even not even worrying about the draft in general, just having the top 3 pick in general, what you can get in return for that is, you can maximize that value as we get obviously closer to the draft because that's just going to increase in value. So I guess it just depends how you want to look at it. But
Yeah. He was
I'm with you,
basically
Diaz.
trying.
I'm with you.
He's
I like that. Nothing to do. I'll be willing to give up. But yeah. Now he has
Yeah. I
nothing to
mean,
do with top 3 first. I feel that.
I think he's trying to just acquire as many first round picks as he can to maybe go out and buy a quarterback or something like that. But we'll see how it plays out.
Well, I guess you can say the other thing is, okay, if he does have the 102, 103, he does get his own first. Now we get closer to the season. Now he can sell that pick for 3 firsts if he wants to.
Yeah.
That's the value of that pick
Instead of
with
going
in
the other way.
Superflex with the QVs. Instead of going this way, he could have, if he wanted to break down that top 3 pick, he could have did that and got like 3 firsts in return. So, you know.
Yeah.
You look at it that way too. But that's just another, just another way to look at it. Full PPR, Richard said need a flex, Amari Cooper or Laporta, and need a QB, Jordan Love or Watson.
That's interesting. We try and stay away from tight ends in the flex, but this is one of the ones you might consider putting in your flex position. That's a tough one because Amari Cooper, even with PJ Walker last week, had a pretty good game. I believe Amari Cooper had a really good game. I don't remember what his stats were. Let me look it up really quick. Amari Cooper last week, yeah, he had 4 for 108 on 8 targets. 2 out of the 3 games. 2 out of the 3 games with Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper had 7 catches, over 200 yards, and a touchdown. So I think I'll roll with Amari Cooper here from the wide receiver position. He is the number 1, but it's really close with Laporta. So give me Amari Cooper here, and then give me Jordan Love against Denver.
Cooper and Jordan Love. I could agree with the Jordan Love, and might actually have to go Laporta. But yeah, Mari's, maybe I'll go Amari. I'll go Amari. Fuck it. All right, give me Amari and give me Jordan Love. Let's take the chance on that. DS said I gave him multiple opportunities of various packages, simplified it. Now offered my first and Rashi, who he specifically wanted for Pollard. He countered with, oh fuck, I would have definitely took that. Yeah, I would have took that. I'm only in one other league with Bogla. I don't know. He's trying to, I guess, feel out maybe the different GMs or the different players and see what's going on. But there's, in other leagues, a lot of other leagues I'm in, there's sharks out here, bro. We're fucking, fucking savages, dog. And that's how we got to play. And, I think sometimes you have to take things that you might not necessarily want, but it's actually a good deal. And, just the first round picks in general, and especially in Superflex League, they just hold a ton of value. And it's not about just a player that you can get there. It's just about the flexibility and what you can do with that pick. So, yeah, I would have took that for sure.
I can't
first
speak
for
to
Pollard. Any first for Pollard, I wouldn't give up a first for Pollard. But yeah, if you could get fucking Pollard for I mean, you're contending, that's fine. You want to spend a late first on him, but I mean, if he can get the first with Rashi, I mean, shit, yeah, I would take that. What do you think, Cameron? You taking that?
I mean, it's hard. That's not my, my thinking is always go get the best players. Now I know because he inherited that shit show of a team, I think he's just trying to acquire as many picks as possible. I know he has a ton of second round picks as well. For my first and Rashid, we specifically wanted for Pollard. He counted with his first. Yeah, it's really all his direction. Like I said, I always want to acquire the best player in the package if I can. So that's really on him, honestly. And I'm a part of that. I'm a part of this deal, so I'm a little biased towards it. So.
You said just because you're a top 3 pick doesn't mean you have to push the button on it. That's how I got Herbs, Burrow, 2 Chase shares last offseason. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I mean, and my team is currently 1-5. Like he has the 103 right now. Now, obviously, that could change, but
that was his and your deal. I mean, I get that.
So that pick is currently the 103. And he also has the pick of the other team that was taken over, who just lost Justin Fields. He has that first round pick. So depending on how far that team slides, that could be 2 top 5 picks at the end of the day. So there's still a lot to be decided in terms of what that pick actually looks like.
Yeah. True that. You like any Josh Jacobs? I gotta set my lineups here. I'm gonna make sure all my shit's in place. But yeah, check out the Josh Jacobs here. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I do like Josh Jacobs. Now he hasn't been super efficient, but just on volume alone, I kind of think I like the fantasy points overall. Um, I traded away Josh Jacobs, and I wasn't too thrilled about it because I knew he was going to start to pick up the pace. Um, 45 carries in his last 2 games, so he's getting the ball on top of 10 targets. So he's got 55 opportunities in the last 2 games. Give me the fantasy points here.
Okay. How about any Devontae or Jacoby?
Yeah, I do like Devontae here. I know it's Brian Hoyer, so people aren't excited, but Devontae Adams is such a good wide receiver that I don't think the quarterback matters per se. They just need to get him the ball in positions. And Brian Hoyer is a veteran quarterback. Like, don't give me Aiden O'Connell. I want no part of that. I feel better with Brian Hoyer than Aiden O'Connell. Um, so yeah, I do like Devontae here. I The receiving is tough. Like I like him in this game. I just don't know how much it'll translate from the quarterback position. I think I'll stay away from it if I'm prop betting.
I feel it. Hayden, what's up, Hayden? Mark Andrews or Stevenson in the flex full PPR?
Mark Andrews, and it's not particularly close.
Yeah, let's go with Mark Andrews. Stevenson has been pretty trash. Appreciate you, Hayden. Mega Brick, what up, man? Full PPR, Komet or Higby?
Yeah, this is Higbee here, and this is because of the quarterback situation in Chicago. Give me Higbee.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Full PPR, Waddle, Dotson, Godwin, Palmer. Sit one.
Dotson's taking a seat here.
Yep, Dotson for sure. And keep CMC starting or panic and start Jaleel McLaughlin.
Christian McCaffrey, and don't look back.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine with CMC. I think he is. I think he is going to play. I've got to make a decision here in one of my dynasty leagues: either Marquise Brown or Deontay Johnson in my last flex spot.
Ooh.
Contending team. I got a squad in this one.
I think I'm taking Hollywood there.
Hollywood. What do you guys think? Is it Hollywood or Deontay? I play this week.
Yeah, I'm taking Hollywood.
I've got Hollywood in right now, but I kind of want to see what other people think. Hollywood or Deontay? Let me know, guys. Throw it in the chat. What am I going with? Appreciate you, Mega Brick. You the man. Kevin, good question for another show. I have a team, 12-team Superflex QBs are A-Rich and Fields. I haven't won. I have the 101 and 102 so far. Would you take offers for these QBs during season?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm always down to take offers. If I can get off of Fields, then I'm coming off of Fields for sure.
Yeah, I think A-Rich I would hold on to.
Yeah.
But fielding offers doesn't mean you have to take it, right? Because people, especially at this point in the season, are looking to buy on guys that are injured, which Fields and A-Rich are. Now, A-Rich is a little bit different because he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So in Fields, we imagine is going to come back at some point. So I think you'll get more for Fields. And Fields' situation is going to be interesting in this particular offseason, right? With the Bears probably being not great and maybe vying for that number one overall pick. So yeah, I would definitely see if I could come off of Fields as well.
Yeah, field offers for Fields. A-Rich just hold on to because value isn't as high right now. He does not doing anything for anybody, and even rebuilding teams might not want to pay. I can't seem to trade him right now. I have him in 2 leagues. I can't get rid of him at the moment, so I gotta just hold on to him. Brian said Brian Robinson or Zach Moss for the RB2.
I think I'm going B-Rob, especially if you're in PPR formats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean Zach Moss is catching passes though too. I mean
he is, but Gibby is not as much of a factor, and Brian Robinson is essentially the RB1 there.
Who do they have? Who are they playing against?
The Giants.
Mm.
Zach Moss
got the Browns. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking B-Rob here.
I'll take B-Rob. I'll take B-Rob as well. But yeah, Kev, we could get into that in another show. Let us know some of the offers you take, but definitely yeah, so you've got a rebuilding team. You're not going to win it this year. You need to get rid of Javante. Get rid of Javante now while he's, in a decent situation where he's kind of getting work and people perceive that he may start getting more work as well. If you're not going to win it this year, I don't see the point of having the RB on your squad. Maybe you wait a few weeks until he maybe has a good game or so, but I definitely want to come off of Javante. If I'm not winning this year, I'm not holding on to Javante, I don't think.
Especially
Give me
running backs,
something.
like you said, that have value.
Give me something I can use. Whether it's picks or a player in a pick. You know,
Because what if Javante gets hurt, right?
give
Then
me
it's
something. Yeah, give me something
absolutely
I can
nothing.
move easier. In the off season, like if I need to, for sure. I appreciate you, Brian. No problem, man. So yeah, we're on the road to 500. I think we're getting close.
Yeah, we're super close. I looked at it yesterday. I was like, damn,
We're getting
that's
close. We're at 495. We need five more. Then we'll be on the road to 1K. I think we
fuck
open up
yeah.
the super chats when we get to 500 because we have the watch hours, I believe. Um,
Yeah, this
so
is really exciting.
that'll be
Just
fun.
having you guys be a part of this has just been super exciting. The kind of community that we've built, with you guys, it's just been fantastic. So I'm super excited, and I talk to people about it all the time too. Now I'm like, yeah, we're getting ready to get to 500 and then up to 1,000. So it's definitely something that I'm excited, and I talk to people a lot about.
Um, what's the other? Hold on, my bad. I'm trying to fucking set my lineups and pull this down. I think we're just staying away from all bear shit right now, right? Talk about the
Yeah.
rest of these. Talk about these games and the money lines and what you're looking about and what you're looking at for these games, while I set the rest of my lineups here real quick.
So a couple of games I was looking at, Cardinals Seahawks. I really do think that the Seahawks win this game. Now it's -9.5. I don't know if I love that number. Money line is -450. I would probably just take the money line, especially if you're going with a parlay here. That 9.5 number is really, really big on the Seattle end. I don't think Seattle's a dominant team. If you feel comfortable with Arizona +9.5, I can't really be mad at it. They've been competitive for the most part. They didn't look great last week. They got roughed up a little bit, but I would just go Seattle on the money line here. Packers Broncos is really, really interesting. It's only Packers -1. So that's essentially a pick 'em game. I do think the Packers win this game. I talked about this on the last previous show that if they don't win this game, I'll start to hit the panic button on my beloved Packers. So I will take the Packers here at -120. Chiefs Chargers. I There's something about the Chargers that I just don't trust. Um, Chargers uh Chargers getting 6 points. I'm tempted to take the Chiefs -6. For whatever reason, I think I would take the Chargers and the +6. The Chiefs haven't been as dominant. They're getting the wins, but the Chiefs aren't as dominant as their 5-1 record suggests. I would take Chargers and the 6 points here. And then the dandy that we have tonight, Eagles, Dolphins. I think everybody in our community is super excited for that Eagles Dolphins game. Um, Eagles giving 3 points to Miami. I would take the +3. I know it's up in Philadelphia. So I don't know how much the wind is going to be a factor tonight as much as that would be during the day. I think that Miami Dolphins offense is really, really good. Philadelphia does have a good defensive front. I would take Miami Dolphins +3 here in Philadelphia. And that is the corner.
Mhm. And this is becoming a day trader's market. You have to see the path to a value rise before. Yeah, exactly. I think we just spoke about it earlier before you had come on. Just getting ahead, especially in Dynasty. You can't wait for things. You can't say, I can't, I want to wait for it to happen. I mean, maybe a redraft, but in Dynasty, especially sometimes,
You
if
got to
you're
be
not
ahead of the
ahead of the game,
curve.
you're paying.
Yeah,
I put
yeah.
out that video after the season, like, bro, Nico Collins was on there. There was a bunch of guys that I said to stash and they gained so much value. And you could have had him for absolutely nothing, like literally nothing. A throw-in, waivers in some leagues, a third, a fourth round pick, and and now look at him going for first. Like, so it's crazy, man. A-Rich is considered a sunk cost, yeah, for right now,
But I
absolutely.
think I think with
That's the first
Dynasty,
spot.
especially with the Anthony Richardson stuff, I think he is still a hold for me just because of the upside. And I think the Colts have built, like, they're a good organization, like building wise. Like they know what they're doing from an organizational standpoint. So while I agree he's a sunk cost for this season, I think he's still very valuable going forward.
I mean, I was able to get Kyler for late first, not even a first in 2 leagues. I have him in
Yep.
3 leagues, and I mean, I paid for him way earlier when he really didn't cost as much at all. And now all of a
And now
sudden
there's a
he's coming
potential
back.
return. Yep.
And same thing we kind of saw with Calvin Ridley in the offseason where he was not being drafted high. Nobody was really on him. And then once we get towards the season and everybody starts seeing him and seeing all the clips come out, now all of a sudden he rises up where you could have you try to take advantage, beforehand. Now that didn't work out because he's fucking trash right now. But uh, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, you got to find those pockets where you can buy guys. I mean, Joe Burrow was for sale in a few leagues, and I was trying to get Joe Burrow. I wasn't able to get him, but the fact that he's simply available. I mean, I just saw Justin Jefferson get traded in one of my leagues, this one QB league, and I'm fucking pissed because I was trying to get him, and I thought I gave a solid deal, and they wound up taking this other deal, and I'm like, fuck, I should have pushed harder. I should have pushed the envelope and focused on it instead of
Letting it get away.
instead of kind of letting it get away. So I'm fucking pissed about that.
It's
Pissed
understandable.
about that. Pissed
Yeah,
about that. And
we
then in
are
another league like Alvin, well, nah, that actually that league I'm not competing. That one doesn't matter. But yeah, it's fuck.
we are 2 minutes away.
Traded Justice Hill for a fourth and Parker Washington in one league. I'm not contending him. I'm like, fuck it, give me the pick. I couldn't get a third for him. Nobody wanted to pay it. Nobody wanted to pay. So thoughts on Calvin Ridley? Should I trade him or keep him? Starting to seem like Kirk is wide receiver 1.
Calvin Ridley, the problem trading Calvin Ridley right now is you're not going to get a ton as much. I would kind of hold until he has a bigger game and shows that, he is that guy again. Because he was good after the first week or two, and then it's kind of he's taken a back seat to Christian Kirk, and also too the running game has gotten going. ETN is getting a ton of this work, especially goal line, red zone area ish. So I think Calvin Ridley's still valuable. I would try and prop his value up a little bit for him, but see what's out there.
I gotta play Whack Jones this week, bro, because Joe Burrow's out in one of my 2 QBs. Fuck.
Yeah, that's a problem because Mac Jones could have a bad first half and not play the rest of the game.
Lockett or Addison, quick.
Oof.
Well, actually, I got time to make that one. But yeah, I need to pick between Lockett or Addison.
I might lean Addison there, but they have a good matchup. Seattle does against Arizona.
Ford or Javante?
Who?
Ford or Javante?
Javante against the Packers. Yeah, Javante.
Yeah, I got him in, but I think I wanted to. No, they fucked me.
1 o'clock, bro.
I missed it. Oh no.
You are locked in, Chief.
Oh, I fucked up. That was the last league I had to do too. Shit.
Well, nobody told you to be in 75 leagues.
Well, Ridley kind of fucked me in this league anyway, and I got to play Mac Jones, so.
Ugh. Nobody likes that.
Damn. I thought I had him in. All right, so we got the games going now.
Yes, sir.
I get the red zone. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Oh,
Same.
Taylor or Cook? Taylor, probably.
Yeah, I'm taking Jonathan Taylor here.
Yep. Oh, man, I fucked up in this league. I need the win in that, too. All right, I'm about to get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Lawrence manager trade for Mims a second or Rice in a third. Or the Lawrence manager trade for like Mims in a second or Rice in a third. For who?
I'm okay with either package.
Ridley? Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. All right, guys, appreciate you.